Oh, hey, looks like we're all live here today. And what do I got? What am I sitting in here today? The old armchair, gonna be armchair quarterbacking. And why? Anytime there's some sort of a crash, it's good to get out the armchair quarterback stuff, and I can talk about that. And another idea that I had, just thinking about things in my basement. And hey, Dan, welcome to the show. Yeah, so yesterday, 420. Yeah, Elon's rocket blew up. Meh, it happens, right? It was a test flight, and I'm sure they're going to get lots of good data off of that. And so it was a nice day here. So took my motorcycle out for a ride. And for my new whiteboard here, I'm going to crack open some brand new pack of markers. See, because I was thinking about my existing marker that came with it. And hey, Corey. Uh, so the black was kind of not looking that great. I'm down to my last blue, so a good pilot always has some backup. Now I got lots of backup. We're gonna crack out the backup. And yeah, so I had this idea, and it was kind of like uh, I'm sure somebody must have thought about it in years past, but technology has changed, and since years past, might be worth revisiting. So I was looking at a rocket. Ooh, what color should I'm going for the classic black on this marker, I think, and we're gonna draw a rocket. So I guess I could use the red one and show it all exploded and stuff like that for Elon's, but I'm not going to talk about like why I did it crash. I don't know, but it is those rockets are really cool though, and it's weird. I was going to do like a really big crash investigation on that from what little information I have, but I started looking at the Starship, just the specs and everything that's on Wikipedia. That's an amazing piece of technology. And it's like, wow, I can't talk about that. I just teach people how to fly little airplanes. But I also teach the forces that are involved in flight, stuff like that. So I got thinking about that rocket ship, and it was just, when you're a little kid, you draw a rocket ship, and it's got the little fins on it to keep it going up straight. Or even if you made model rockets, little Estes rockets, you put the fins on there so it goes up straight. But yeah, the Starship there is just this big silver tube, you know. And I mean, I'm sure the engines at the bottom, they can vector the thrust to keep it going up straight, so you don't need the extra fins. And but I was thinking about that, like it's a gigantic rocket. It's like just under 400 feet tall. It's huge. And so I was thinking, and then when I watched it on the internet, like taking off, like that must have been something to see. Just like it must shake your whole body. Like that must be so cool. I almost want to retire in like Cocoa Beach or something like that in Florida, so I could just like, I don't know, stand out and look at rockets go off and stuff, or, or Starbase in Texas or something. But yeah, so I was thinking about that. It takes so much energy just to get it moving. Oh, hey, Shecky. Hey, Wrench. Um, so the yeah, so I mean, you're blowing up so much stuff to get that big mass going, and I forget. I don't know. I read it somewhere, maybe when I was a kid, or it's just pretty basic physics that like to get that much stuff going, give it some oomph, and with gravity and with all that other stuff, air pressure, and like it burns up. That's why that first stage is so huge, is because it just burns up all of its fuel just trying to get up. So I was thinking, like, why don't they use a little? And like, you see all this when it goes off, there's like a lot of steam and a lot of like basically they're taking the liquid oxygen and the liquid methane and they ignite it. So it's basically like a controlled explosion. It's kind of almost like an afterburner on a jet. You're just exploding the stuff and it pushes the thing up. But I was thinking, like, now that you got all that energy that was contained in the fuel cell, you blow it all up, and it makes the big wide smoke, or I guess it's mostly steam, I think, but it's yeah, like all that just whoosh goes right out. And I'm just thinking, like, why can't you harness some of that energy that's going out that way and redirect it up to help, kind of pull the rocket off? So that was my initial idea. So I'm gonna draw my starship here. We built this city. I just keep thinking about that with Starship. I don't know what's it look like. Something like this. It's got its other little fins. I don't know. Actually, that kind of looks like a, a warped tadpole. But okay, here we go. How do you like that? There's Starship, right? And so there's your first stage there, and then the Starship is up here. And so it's I'm gonna break out the red on this one because we're gonna be blowing stuff up. Okay, we're igniting our stuff. Oh, hey Al, welcome to the show. And yeah, let's see here. Shecky's in the house too. Very cool. All right. Yeah, so we're blasting off all this stuff. Now you got the ground. We'll say that this silver part here is the ground, right? And it's on some kind of a stand. And so you're shooting all this stuff down here, but it also kind of goes out this way. And that would be going all around, spreading out on the ground. So I was thinking, now what if you could get that? Oh, use a different color here. Fun. Oh, I'm doing the test flight on all my new markers here for my whiteboard. So what if you had something? Maybe you had like a big donut around here to catch everything coming out. The shape of that would be a torus, Torus, donut. Fancy name for donut, torus. And so, and you can imagine that maybe if you had some little flappy do up here, kind of sticking off like that, and then when it takes off, those things could like kind of like little clamshells or something that would come in. I'm thinking like the opposite of like a thrust reverser on a jet, where they had the clamshell type that opens up and redirects the thrust forward to help you stop in a jet, like in an airliner. Some other ones have a different way of doing that, but if you could redirect some of that and kind of make it go up here, this is what make a big pipe, something like that. There we go. And maybe one on this side too. I'm just thinking out loud, doing my stuff. See, the thing with engineers is that I'm not an engineer, but I got time to think about stuff, and engineers don't necessarily have the time to think about things. So here's an idea for some engineer. All right, so somehow you get these little flappy guys here. All your thrust is going that way. So instead of wasting all that thrust out the side, you're going to have it going here. This is my schematic. This is my exact awesome CAD program here. And there we go. So now the force of this explosion here is being redirected up to here, and that's kind of lifting the rocket up. I don't know if that's ever been done before, but there's a yeah, so we'll do that over here too. And then I got thinking some more. Okay, if you're just got that and you got this other little, how else can you get some air going underneath there? Got another idea. What if you get and no, I wasn't doing anything funny on 420 to come up with these ideas. Let's be environmental and we'll try our green marker. So here we go. So let's just say over here you got a great big fan. Huge gigantor fan. Kind of like what they have in a wind tunnel, I'm thinking. So it's like a circle. Maybe you got a blade like this. Okay, my fan is just as good as looking as my rocket ship. Look at that awesome fan. Well, it looks a little bit lighter in here with my green marker. So if you can get that great big monster fan, like, I don't know, 20, 30 feet across, and you duck that down to something smaller. So anybody that knows anything about the Bernoulli effect and all that fun stuff, where you're putting a fluid through a tube, if you get that as it goes through here and joins up with this, now you got your fresh green air there. It'll speed up if you bring it in closer, and it'll also cool off. So if you got all this really hot hot gas here, if you can mix it up with here, it'll cool off to an area where it's probably not going to create as much metal fatigue there, and you're getting the extra thrust off your electric fan. Now, if you and then I'm thinking like if you can just get that little oomph there to increase like another, I don't know, 10 tons of thrust or something, that means you could probably take another 10, I don't know, a certain amount of payload up more. I don't know. And then I was thinking too, if you can just do something weird like that, okay, if you can get 1% more thrust off the hop, then after 100 launches, you got a free launch out of it. So that's, I don't know, something to think about. And, okay, so, but I was also thinking if you got this little ducted thingamajig here, how do you direct it so that it's not going to knock it over or something like that? So, what you're gonna have to do is control they can control the Raptor engines down here pretty well. They got that all. It's pretty wild to see them, the engineers that they can just really control all the temperatures and pressures and everything, and they can read it all out, and the computers take care of everything. But how do you control the air that's coming out here so it's not lopsided? Or what if there's a failure? So you could have like maybe 6 of these things around, and then how do you control the speed and the amount, the mass that's getting pushed through there? Aha, that's my other idea. Okay, so you need some sort of a. I'm going to keep that there for now. I'm going to test my last marker. So I got green, blue, black, and excuse me. All right, you know what? My last marker, because my other, this old guy here, for the cardboard, if you've been around since the cardboard days, I got to test out some new cardboard here. All right, here we go. I found this box over there, so I'm just going to use the box. All right, we're going to test out the new cardboard marker, and this is how we're going to control the flow of air towards my little lifter things. I don't know what you would call them, the little fans or gigantic fans that would help it out. I was thinking something cool like an AFU, like an auxiliary fan unit, or ATU, auxiliary thrust unit, something like that. That'd be pretty cool. You got to have cool names if you're doing outer space stuff. All right, so this is how we're going to figure out how to stabilize that air. And I'm thinking total SpaceX here. Yeah, so I got a new kind of Sharpie Pro. I'm a pro. Well, I mean, I don't get paid for this, but I guess you can kind of consider me a pro. Let's see what it looks like. Whoa, check it out. Okay, so good old Elon there. He's got his when he has the. And I was thinking if you're going to experiment with this, you wouldn't start off with Starship. You'd start with something a little smaller. And so they have those little floating landing pads that are out in the ocean. What do they call it? Like it's kind of like a robot drone barge or something like that. But I was thinking if you want to program the software for my little air nozzles, you can start off by using your landing pad. Was it X marks the spot? Oh, smells good, man. 420. Oh, I'm day late. So there's your landing pad. And so when the rocket's coming back down there, the you can see those little things adjusting it, and then it comes down and just goes, and then it lands. So that's exactly what it sounds like. So, anyways, it comes down and lands. But how do they stabilize that? That I'm not really too sure. But I was thinking if you want, you can put some little outriggers out here with little nozzles on them. And these would be all the same. Okay, something like that. Actually, that would be better. That looks a little phallic. Let's make it a little different. Okay, so we got the so here we go. We got our outriggers here, and then you would have like a big I guess a big impeller, and you put these through tubes, and you would have the thrust. You would kind of, I guess if you did a side view on that, it would look like this. You got your launching pad. You got your outriggers here in the water, underneath the water line. And outrigger would look like this. Something like that. All right. I don't know if you can see the side view there, but this is the water. Here we go under the water. So you got in the middle here, you have a great big impeller, which is like a propeller, but it's just sucking in water, and it would shoot the water out this way and that way. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. And then I was thinking for those to adjust the thrust, you could just kind of increase and decrease the diameter of the outflow pipe, and then that would give either more or less thrust on the two axes there, X and Y axis. So if you can do that in the water, air behaves the same as water. Now, water doesn't compress like air does, but there's another consideration there. But you could get the software all working on this, and then once you got that, you stick it on a little rocket and use the same nozzle technology here that you learned already with on the ground, stabilizing stuff or in the water. Hey, there we go. So that's just my little idea to go out there. I don't know if anyone's thought of that before, but hey, after a blow up armchair quarterback, I can say whatever I want on this channel. And I don't have a budget I have to work with. I don't have coworkers I have to work with. So I don't have a boss, except for you guys. I guess you could consider that a boss, sort of, but I still do whatever I want here in my basement. And yeah, so that was just kind of like a little idea I had there about how can you get extra thrust instead of wasting all this thrust blasting it out to the side. Redirect it up here and add a little bit more thrust with your auxiliary fan unit to power the auxiliary thrust unit, something like that. And then you could also have it so that when these guys go up, they could be detachable or just kind of be like a clamshell, and just with the airflow that's going by here would be enough to push them closed. Maybe, I don't know. Just an idea for any if someone wants to give it to Elon, go for it. He can use it, no problem. And okay, so that's about it. And I would think that my test today has been successful because 4 new markers so far, successful test, and 5 new markers worked nicely on the cardboard. There we go. Time to celebrate. It's the weekend. So anyways, yeah, okay, so today is Friday. You know what? First, I'm going to go through see if there's any questions here or snide comments. Not with this good gang. We'll see. I'm just waiting for trolls to show up here, man. I guess I'm not I'm not famous enough for the trolls to show up yet, but we'll see. We got if more trolls show up, I'll give more people wrenches too. Wrench got a wrench, and they can act as booters, outers, if they want to boot them out of the chat. Okay, so Al popped in. That was nice. Shecky. What else we got here? Corey's still hanging around. Very cool. Okay. All right. Well, so far it looks like everybody was they're behaving themselves. That's right, Shecky. 420 is twice a day, every day. Yeah, it's not just once a year. Okay, if you're thinking like that, cool. Okay, what do we got here? And Al's got, as usual, Al's got some good jokes in here. So, all right. So people are thinking it's pizza day today. Actually, pizza day was last weekend. So I usually have pizza every other weekend, and so I usually have it would be some sort of a treat on Friday night. If it's nice weather, I might throw a really awesome steak on the grill or something. But I think the plan for today is burritos or something like that. Something nice and greasy. So yeah, I try to eat healthy most of the time, and then I can have some grease and fat and all that other fun stuff on the weekend here and there. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Today is Friday, so that means that I will be back here on Monday. Why? Because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern. And you guys all have a great weekend. And thank you for watching. Bye.